Yeah, drive about 45 minutes to me. Then the rest is history, man. So
So you was really the catch.
I always say we,
And
the
she,
men, the catch, man. I always say we the catch, man.
yeah, so she really booked you,
She did though. She
is what
did
you're
though.
saying.
Woo! Hey guys, welcome to Little Blackbird 91. Listen, we're gonna give you guys another video for next hour or so. Let me tell you something. I want to have this real conversation, right? So obviously I lurk in the background, I look at all the information coming in, look at different discussions that are happening, and I want to say this first and foremost. Simone Biles actually did respond. She popped a little Twitter post as well, letting us know that, basically we should, we're still going on, And if you watch my previous post, I spoke about how Simone, at the moment, the reason why she's doing all this kind of stuff, this is one of her posts as well. I said the reason why she's doing all this kind of stuff is because Simone thinks she's caught a big fish. Simone's history, we talked about her history and her background, about where she came from, that she's a natural protector because of what she's gone through. She's been unprotected, so she's a natural protector. So we are not going to wake her up from the delusion of what she's actually gone through in a situation with her partner. It's going to continue to be deluded. I can't lie to you. Until some time happens and the realization really kicks in and settles in terms of what situation she's actually in. But what I want to say first and foremost is a couple of things we need to address in a situation. I never believe men or women are the prize. I hate the term women are the prize. I hate the term that men are the prize because usually it's blown out of proportion. Usually it's incorrectly put. And then what happens is that people are... people don't talk about reciprocity, right? A relationship requires reciprocity, okay? I don't believe women are the prize or men are the prize, but what I do believe is a man should always pursue a woman. And when I say pursue, I'm not talking about chase and there's no chance of you collecting. I'm talking about reciprocity and the fact that you are putting your best foot forward, she's actually receiving you, and there is consistency in the interaction between you and the young lady. Right? I don't do persistence either. I'm not about that either. If you're somebody who said, I'm persistent, y'all know already I don't like persistence because persistence means there was resistance in the situation. There shouldn't be resistance. It should be simply put that I actually liked you. In fact, Simone was being persistent with this gentleman here because he done told us he wasn't even ready to commit. So clearly she was pushing past the resistance to try and make it work, right? And whenever you get to that place when you're having to push to go and make something work like this in a relationship format, it usually doesn't end very well because the reality of the situation is when you go forward. When you don't go forward. It's that simple, right? Okay, it's simple, but it's not always easy. That's what I say, right? Now, again, I don't believe, I've been on the internet and I'm seeing men talking about they are the prize. Negro, you ain't the prize. I see ladies talking about Simone Biles is the prize. Ladies, Simone Biles is not the prize. Her being such a great goated athlete doesn't make her necessarily the prize. What it does mean is she gets greater access to greater men. That's all it means. We need to stop this narrative as well, right? Oh, Simone Biles, because she's the greatest athlete ever, one of the goated athletes in gymnasium, and in fact, she's a goated athlete in terms of just athletes in general, that we're like, she's the prize. No. No. Let's cancel that straight away. No, what it means now is she gets to elevate the kind of man that she can go for, right? Because if she's not Simone Biles, she'll work with a pool of men on her level. Now she can elevate the pool of men she can have access to because she is who she is, right? Not a negative, it's just a reality of life, right? And same with him. The moment he becomes an NFL star, his also things begin to also increase as well in terms of who he can attract and who he can get with, right? But we're going to talk about this situation. There's a clip from Ryan Clark which I want to get into as well because I don't like people making me feel like I'm an idiot, right? I don't like people playing dumb, yeah? And I said this already. I said this from the last video. I said we have to hold Pivot also accountable because they're talking about we want marriage, we love the marriage, they're amazing, they're happy, and you are part of the problem. You were the one who posted the clip in a particular way. You posted that particular clip to get our attention. You've got it now, and now you're vexed that you got my attention. I watched the whole live. I watched the whole interview, and there's now one thing apart from when he says she helped me in my situation. Does he say anything nice about her? That's it. That's the only time. That's why I asked anybody who came on the panel the other day, Mandem, what did she say? What did he say that was nice about her? We don't know apart from one thing about him saying that she helped him. Now, you know how I feel about that when anybody says anything about someone that they like, if they only can tell you about the things they do for you or things that you do for them, they probably don't like you. They like what you do for them, and that's what they like, right? But let's get into this video. If you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked today. We're going to get into some conversation today, and like I said, we'll be here for the next less than an hour or so, just so that you guys can hear these thoughts, right? So I'm going to play a clip as well. I'll answer that question. V, that's a good question. I'll answer it in a few moments as well. Let me put this clip up here first and foremost, okay? All right.
Whole story. So he was telling the story of the way he met his wife, Simone Biles, on our show. And she was also there. And they told this story with so much love in their eyes. And every time they looked at one another, you can tell how beautiful it was to them. But everyone is now twisted and taken that and made it something negative. What people haven't done is watch the entire show. Watch him say that she wasn't scared and that once they finally went on the date, it was history from there. Or listen to him talk about their 2020 conversation while she was at the Olympics as he encouraged her that she could be okay. And when she wasn't, the time he took away with her, even getting married during that time. And now Simone Biles is back to the Simone Biles we know.
Well, let's pause it right there. Okay, let's pause it right there before he goes any further. You want us to feel that he was looking at her with love, and the way he looked over at her was with love, right? I watched the whole video, the whole 54 minutes. I watched it all. I ain't see what you're talking about. Is that on me? Is that on me? I didn't see that happiness. No, what I saw was Simone grinning from teeth to teeth and answering certain questions. I saw that part, don't get twisted, but I didn't see that love part. I can't lie to you, I didn't see it. Personally, I ain't see it. Okay, all right? Number two, okay, you're telling us that, you know, when he described about her mental health aspect, right? Look where it ended up being. No, just listen to what you just said. She had a mental health breakdown situation, and the next thing that ends up happening is within I don't know the span, they get married. I mean, me personally, that don't even sound good. Like I just want you to understand what we're saying, right? Bear in mind, obviously, when I talk about mental health, my mom deals with schizophrenia, so I know about mental health. So let me not play with y'all, okay? But again, like I said, obviously, I'm not hearing love at the moment. I'm still not hearing the love. So when you tell me that they went away because she had mental health issues and she didn't want to do the competition, I hear that. And then they end up getting married. You're acting as if it's a positive. How's that a positive? Someone has mental health issues, they've been breaking down, they're in depression, and then they get married. How is that the positive? Like, do you know what I'm saying to you? Like, in 2023, that, for me, that really ain't a positive, just because of how I know about mental health. Now, if they had gone to, like he said, they've gone to therapy. So if he spoke more about going to therapy, really working things out, really understanding her, getting to understand what makes her tick, that would have made me like, okay, this brother really cares about her and loves her. But you put the marriage thing in there, which again, don't really speak about the fact that there's a love there. That don't prove there's love there. People need to stop this attitude that getting a ring and getting married is actually action of love. There's a lot of people get married and it's not for love. So you getting a ring or getting married don't mean that there's a love thing situation. You get what I'm saying to you, right? Now, if you follow me on the channel long enough, you know that I blast men and women. I'm not trying to be biased. I blast women too, as well as I blast the men. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm going to choose, I choose a side based on the situation. You get what I'm saying to you, right? So this is not me trying to be, I'm backing women or anything. No. This doesn't sound right.
He talked about the way Simone Biles has changed his life, how much she has helped him, how much their love and their journey and their story is all tied together. So what has happened is people sitting in their homes, whether married or unmarried, are now worried about this man and his relationship.
Now, let's pause it right there. Don't you dare. See, I don't like this. This is how I know I don't like what you're doing. And you're kind of being manipulative right now. I don't like that. You put on this particular video. We didn't tell you go and interview Jonathan Owens. We didn't even know who he was. I didn't even know who he was. I didn't even know who he was. You might not have even interviewed him if he wasn't the husband of Simone Biles. Please, don't try to gaslight me. This situation, acting as if we're sitting at home, whether you're married or unmarried, you trying a little shade. I know you try a little something. And we're in the business. Who told you to go and interview them and bring it to my screen? No, who told you? Did I tell you to go and interview him? Did we tell you to go and interview him and bring us information about what's happening in the relationship? Had he put on a good show and spoke well about his wife, would we not be giving you plaudits? Would we not be giving him plaudits? If you had put on the show where he talks great about his wife, would we not be all sitting like, rah, it's so loving to see how he treated her. It's so nice to see how much he cares about her. Women will be out here saying, I want a man like Jonathan Owens who loves Simone Biles. You know how we know that? Because we've seen the history of other couples who, women and men, be like, yeah, I want a love like that. I want a love like Will and Jada. So don't gaslight and sit on my screen and gaslight me in a situation. I don't like these words gaslight because it's not really gaslight. Don't sit on my screen and act like I'm a fool. We have brains here. We think about things. Okay? All right? Now, you chose that particular clip. Okay? Because you gave it also to Jonathan Owens to put on his profile. So you chose it. Whoever your editor was chose that point and put it in there. Now, number two, you knew his story because it's not the first time he's ever said the story about who was chasing who. It's not the first time. Hence why you asked the questions you were asking. Number three, you looked like he was chatting was. So don't look at me. If you know he was chatting was and you're asking him questions, come on. Don't look at me, my brother. You're looking at the wrong person for this to be blamed. You need to look at yourself and the rest of your team. You put this man out to hang to dry. You're talking about, listen, you saw the love, you saw this, you saw that. Maybe what you should have done was edited that part of the video out. Maybe you should have edited out all the parts where he spoke about Simone Biles and kept it strictly football. Because if that's not the case, you have absolutely a lot of fault to deal with because we're interpreting what you gave us. Right? We even interpreted how you were looking at him. So what do you want to do? Who told you to summarize a question? No, don't take me for a dickhead. Who told you to summarize a question and say, is it safe to say that a brother doesn't like Simone Biles? Did I tell you to interpret the question that way? Who told you? And now you're complaining about how we saw it. You haven't protected their relationship. You should have known this clip is going to go out. It's going to look mad. Don't come out and sit on the internet acting like we're mad. Don't. You knew exactly what you were doing with that clip. Your editor knew exactly what he was doing with that clip. Your production person knew exactly what they were doing with that clip. When they pull it out on the internet, you knew exactly what would happen. You're not foolish. Ryan Clark is a very intelligent man. That's why he summarized the questions the way he asked the question. He's a very deep thinker. The way he asks questions, I was like, I like the way he asks questions. Don't sit on my internet and treat us like a fool. Please, you're smart. You're smart. So you know that there are smart people out there. Don't play dumb. It's not cute. It don't look good. Okay? You got what you wanted, and now you're in a situation. Right? And if you want to talk about people having the blame, you should have protected their relationship if you felt like it was so beautiful and said, let's edit this part out. It doesn't actually fit the narrative that we're looking. Now we're looking back and we're watching it again. It's not really fitting the relationship aspect. You know what I mean? It's not really helping. Yeah? It's not really helping. So I think we should maybe take this out. That's all. You get what I'm saying to you? That's it. You can't blame us for interpreting that way.
Instead of being happy for two people who are excited to be together, two people who support one another wholeheartedly, we've now decided to pick apart one clip instead of learning the whole story. So the moral of the story is this. If Simone Biles is happy, why aren't you? If Jonathan Owens is happy, why do you care how they start or what jokes they make? This is a couple that has found their own way, and they found their way to one another in a very unique fashion. And just because you feel like he should be worshiping the gymnast, Simone Biles, doesn't mean that you can't respect that he's in love with the woman, Simone Biles.
So you guys are part of the problem. I see it now. Yep, the mandem are a part of the problem. They are a part of the problem. I can see it now. These mandem are part of the problem. I see. Do you know what? Can I just say this? This is why sometimes these relationships be faltering, bro. I agree. Listen, he should never worship. If you've watched me long enough, you know I talk about this all the time. Never worship a man or a woman. Never. Never put them on a pedestal. Never put them too high. Don't do it. I agree, right? I'm not asking for Jonathan to worship. To worship you, I live. Hey. To worship you, I live to worship you. Like, I'm not asking you to that, right? I'm not asking for the most decorated message about how much you love your wife. What I am asking for is that when you did speak about your partner, nobody can mention what was nice that he said about her. You mentioned things that he was affected by in terms of what she was doing for him, but nothing about who she actually was. I'm only interpreting what you give me. Nobody's asking for him to worship her. Now, what I would say is there are people that are out there who are cussing and saying, who is he? You know, she's the one that's a star. Yeah, because you know exactly why. Because he mentioned, I'm a catch and I'm the prize. Instead of you to come out and say, listen, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't have said the prize and the catch situation has got people a little bit in their feelings. No, you're not going to. And this is what's going, and this is what I'm saying to you, like, this is why I did that last video. I said, if they're happy, we shouldn't say anything, right? If they're happy, we shouldn't say anything. Well, I hear it. You know, once this dies down, none of us are going to talk about the situation again, right? I hear it, okay? But once you come onto the internet, no matter how happy you may look like, many of us, men, women, know people. We know our boys, and we know our ladies as well. We all have a friend or friends who are smiling from teat to teat about their relationship, and you're telling them this isn't the right relationship. But they're smiling from teat to teat. And so when you tell them, they're like, I don't care. We love each other. So what's it to do with you? And then it goes carnage and it becomes toxic. And then who picks up the pieces? You know what I'm saying to you? So at the end of the day, you know, we are responding to what's been given, but I don't think we're necessarily calling for worship. What we're calling for is an appreciation of the partner who you're with. It would have say something nice. That's it. Why is it hard? Why is it so hard to like? This concerns me. I can't lie to you. This personally concerns me. Okay, this personally concerns me. Okay, because I'm looking at it going, so man them can't even see that man didn't say nothing nice about this gal. Nobody can tell me, no one can say that man couldn't say something nice about his gal. Not one word. That nobody, apart from what he said, which is what she helps him with, which is really a thing, again, when you talk about people, what things people help you with, rather than actually what you like about the person, yeah. When you ask them the question originally, let's go to the question, because clearly he bugging, right? Let me finish this point.
Man, that's their relationship. And if they can smile, you should stop frowning.
Let me pause it here. Let me say this first and foremost. If it was none of our business, why did you ask the question? If it was none of our business, why did you tell us something? Why did you ask them the question? If their relationship is good and they're where they are, and it's by the way, like the man said, this is a football show. Why the frick did you ask him about Simone Biles? Why did you ask the question? Since it's none of my business, why do I need to know about it on a football podcast? Why do I need to know? Stop pretending that we are idiots in the village. We're not, right? And stop pretending like you are a village idiot, because you're not. You're very, very smart. Okay, all right? Now, when they tell us this stuff, okay, when you put on a podcast and you ask questions about their relationship, it was none of my business then. But you wanted it to be part of my business because you put it in a podcast. You didn't have to put that information in. And this is what I'm saying about what I feel like certain people are doing. They're intentionally moving goalposts and that's why some of the arguments that come out, I'm like, this is dumb. It's dumb. You can see right in front of you that this is not a great situation to be in. Right? It's really not a great situation to be in. That I've not heard any husband come out and not be able to say anything nice about what their partner is. Let's review the tape. Let's review the tape. Clearly, I'm a dickhead. So I'm a fool. So let's review the tape. Let's review the tape. Cause no, I'm a fool. So let's review the tape again because we didn't hear what we heard. We were.
Watch, like, you know.
Jonathan, I'm gonna let you finish your story, man. Continue.
But like I was saying, man, she messaged me. This is like a Tuesday. I always say we the men that catch, man. I always say we the catch, man.
Yeah, so
Then the rest is history, man. So
you was really the catch in.
Now, who told you to ask this question? Did I tell you to ask this question? Did I tell you to summarize and ask this question? You're playing in my face. I don't like that, right? When people are playing in our faces, it's like honestly, almost like we're having like I'm in an alternative reality. Who told us to ask this question? Who told you, Ryan, to ask this question? Nobody. Nobody forced you. Nobody pushed you. Nobody encouraged you. You asked this question because you wanted to ask it. You asked the question and put the brother in a tight spot.
I always say the men that catch, man. I always say we the catch, man.
Yeah, so she really booked you.
She did though.
Is what you're saying?
Because I was fighting it. I was fighting it.
So
I was fighting it.
So
And the problem is that you see, and the response is, I'm fighting it. I was fighting it. I was fighting it. Even if it's a joke, let's say it was a joke. Let's say he asked a question as a joke, yeah? By saying, oh, so she really booked you then, like, you know, and you're making it into a joke. All right, cool. But his response was not a joke. This is why I said there's too many minutes. You can't ignore this stuff. Let's say you were asking, let's say you, like Ryan was saying, I was asking it like a joke, say, oh, well, she really got you then, you know? And we do that, right? We do. We do make jokes like, man, I mean, you the one that really got her then, isn't it? You know, she the one that really got you then, you know? But the problem is his response. The problem is the response of Jonathan. That wasn't a joke what he said after, right? I can take maybe Ryan was trying to be a bit funny there, his facial expression, the way, the tone, the inflection, the intonation that he used. I can see how you maybe say it's a joke. But when Jonathan replies, he doesn't reply like it's a joke. Listen to what he's saying.
Truth, if I say this out loud, was Jonathan Owens ain't really want Simone Biles. Is what you're saying.
At the time,
That's what
I'm not gonna say that.
Now, is Jonathan laugh? It's Jonathan's tone and the way he's saying, like, hey, I'm not gonna say that. Do you hear the intonation and inflection of his voice sounding very funny? Does it sound comedic the way he's almost speaking? Does it sound light and fluffy the way he's speaking? Oh, sorry, because I did drama and I did English Lit and Lang. So I'm a person that studies language and studies the way that we speak the language of English. I'm struggling to hear the intonation and to hear the inflection in his voice and to hear the comedic light tones that might be used in the way that you answer a question. Nah, there was no comedic timing here, no sarcasm here. He was genuinely really genuinely answering the question that Ryan gave. And he tells us very exactly what the answer is.
What you're saying?
I was afraid. I was afraid to commit. I'm like, man, this is my third year. You know, I'm trying to. I'm like.
So instead of him saying, nah, you know what? No, jokes aside, like, no, he goes, no, I'm actually going to tell you the truth. No, I was afraid to commit. Right? I was afraid to commit. If he's afraid to commit, what was happening with Simone then? Now, let me tell you something. let me tell you something. I say the situation, okay, so let me tell you something that happened, right? You know, I've been in a relationship where the girl asked me, so what are we doing? And I was like, oh, I don't really know. I don't really know, no. And then I end up committing, right? Because I wasn't 100% sure about the relationship. But I took accountability. I was like, you know what? But actually, no, I do like her. Like, you know, I like this about her, right? So even when the situation, maybe someone asked me, what do I want to do? I'm not really sure 100%. I can find the great qualities of that person because I actually genuinely like the person. That's a commitment issue. At the moment, I'm not hearing stuff that is telling me you've got a commitment issue, telling me you don't want to commit to her. Because nothing has been said that's nice about your actual wife right now. You get what I'm saying to you? A commitment issue would have been, no, I like my wife, she's this, she's that. You know what, I was a bit scared to commit. He hasn't mentioned anything nice about his wife. And he's got commitment issues. No, he don't want to commit to her. He didn't want to commit to her. You know?
It's kind of early, but you know, like I said, man, it happened when you least expected. And we hung out, man. It was like we hit it off instantly. You know, we just laughed the whole night, man. Play, look, go ahead.
So what he does let us know is they hit it off first night, they vibed, they laughed all night. That's it. That's it. Not even a, you know, not even a, like someone said, I'm glad, you know, I'm glad that, you know, like, you know, that I did this, something to get us to understand that you really like this woman. And I'll say this because men declare when they like the woman they are with. It is biblical. It happened in the very beginning. I need you to, like, we're not going to pretend that men don't make declarations when they like who they like. It's a lie from the pit of hell. It's a lie from the pits of hell. It's not even biblical what you're talking about. I don't want to pretend. When Adam saw Eve, what did he say? Bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Abraham even lied because he knew his wife was beautiful and he didn't want man to take his girl. You are sitting on this internet to tell me this, that you couldn't say anything nice.
Want to talk about football? Did you tell her you didn't know who she was?
Actually, my question to her was like, who's your competition? I didn't know nothing about gymnastics, so I'm just asking
Nobody.
Yeah, and that's what she's like. She
Anyway, let me listen to Tony Gaskin. I like Tony Gaskin's response to this, man. You know Tony Gaskin's a little bit wild, but he said,
hey, he on this app, I'm on this app.
Listen to Tony Gaskin's response. You know, I think he nailed it. I was listening to his response. It was very good.
In this situation, financially, Simone is the catch. On looks compatibility, he would be the catch because that's why she got thirsty. That's why she went to like some of his pictures. That's why she wrote him first, hey, because she knows that's out of her look scale. She knows that typically a guy who has all his features proportionate and is a black man with a lighter colored eyes, she knows that he can get the 5'6", 5'9", perfectly proportionate body, you know, breasts, buns, you know, hips, thighs. She could be whatever. She could be brown skin, dark skin, green eyes, blue eyes. She could be lighter skin. She could be white. She could be racially ambiguous, long flowing hair, like natural hair that go to her butt. She knows that his type typically is with the complete opposite of her. So she say, hey, he on this app, I'm on this app, I'm finna shoot my shot. And that's what I tell y'all women about shooting your shot. When you offer something to a man, she offered herself to him. Then she drove 45 minutes to see him, and he made a point to tell us she drove 45 minutes to see him. So
pause right there. This is why I said that. See, and I'm gonna let Tony finish. He's gonna finish in a second, so I will play it continuously. He's absolutely right about the compatibility looks wise, right? I won't even deny that. I'm not even gonna play with him. He knows. He's speaking 100. But what he just said there a minute ago as well, in terms of I've lost my train of thought. What did he just say? My brain just went because I was talking about too many things. Hold on.
To shoot my shot.
Shooting a
And
shot.
that's-
Okay. So me personally, this is where me and him slightly disagree. In terms of shooting a shot, right? And I guess it depends on what you mean by shooting a shot. I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman entering a DM, but I do believe that you shouldn't be leading the conversation. If every time you have to hit the person up, yeah, you might be in a situation you don't need to be in. If every time you're the one that has to call the person or text the person or say hello or whatever, if you're the one that's always having to lead an interaction, lead something, then it's going to be an issue. You know what I mean? So it depends on what you mean by shooting your shot in that sense. I don't think there's anything wrong with you per se. Let's say enter someone's DMs. I think it's a bit more passive route where I would say shooting a shot might be going a bit too far. Maybe passing your number might be a little bit too far. I think simple case of having a conversation with somebody and seeing where he takes it to is a different story. That gives him the opportunity to lead and drive the interaction, typically, you know what I mean? So that's what I would say in that respect. But I do understand what he says about shooting a shot in aspect as well. I'm not going to necessarily disagree 100%, you know?
That's what I tell y'all women about shooting your shot. When you offer something to a man, she offered herself to him. Then she drove 45 minutes to see him, and he made a point to tell us she drove 45 minutes to see him. So he is telling her in her face, in front of the world, that he is the catch. She need to run. You know what? Sometimes me and Tony, we don't always agree in terms of the extremities, but this one I have to agree with, man. You know, the extremities are there. You know what I'm saying to you? In that respect, you got what I'm saying to you. So personally, I'm like, yo, I gotta admit that, bro. The fact that he sat on our screen and told us that information, and none of what he said was about what he went to go and do, that told me everything I need to know. That told me everything I need to know. Because you see, and that's what I said about being wise, right? Let's say a girl approached me. Let's say a girl entered my DMs, because people do enter your DMs. No. People do enter your DMs. And if you like them enough, you take over. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, depends what you mean by shooting your shot. Okay? Depends what you mean by shooting your shot. If a girl enters my DMs and I look at her profile and I'm like, I like her. I think she's attractive. I think she's nice. I think she's a good-looking person. All right? That could be classed as quote-unquote shooting your shot, but I guess that depends on what you mean by shooting your shot, right? Let's say I think that's shooting your shot in a sense, right? That you slip in somebody's DMs and say, hey, I just seen you, da-da-da. Now, not slipping your number and then da-da-da-da, or telling the person, call me sometime. No. If you slip in there, you say, hey, I just want to have a conversation, and you have a conversation with that person, allowing that person to lead the interaction. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Never a B for that. If a girl slips into your DM and says, hey, like, da-da, and then she lets it be and sees what you're going to do with it, let him simmer with it. Let's see what he's going to do with it. But if you start pushing the conversation every time, you always pop up, you always say hello, you always do that, you always that, then yeah, it's going to be a problem. You know, as well. IMO, I'm telling the truth. We may be describing two different things here. When we talk about shooting a shot, we might be talking about two different things. That's why I'm giving an example. You entering someone's DMs might not be shooting a shot for you. For me, it's shooting a shot. Or at least I could say maybe you're positioning yourself in that particular way, in that respect. But I think that kind of thing is a bit more passive in that sense, in that regard as well. So for me personally, I just know that he didn't like her like that. It's just that simple. That's what I'm trying to say to you. He don't find her that attractive. He don't. It's a sad reality, but it is what it is. Tony's talking some truth. She need to run. Sister, I'll be filing for divorce. Sister, I'll be filing for divorce. If that was my sister, if she was my sister, my family member, a young lady I coach, hey, sister, you might want to think about that divorce. Either that or he need to come see me for 12 coaching sessions. He need to talk to me. I need to talk to him about that raggedy mindset. He got a red pill mindset. When he say men is the prize, ain't nobody the prize.
Thank you, Tony.
For one. But when he say, I always say the men is the prize, that's a red pill mindset. If Simone ain't careful, when his career is over and he's a bomb,
Damn,
like if he don't get to be like Michael Strahan or do like what these guys doing on the podcast he went on, if he don't find a moneymaker, she gonna be getting choked. That mindset lead to getting choked. So Simone, if you see this, I'm telling you, that he exhibited a major red flag. And if you watching this and he done like made you cry with his words, like stuff he done said to you behind closed doors, you give it another post his career, you give it 2-3 years, you might get choked. You might get.
Now that part was a bit wild. I can't lie to you. I couldn't go with him there. Like I see where he was going with it. I didn't want to go there. But you know, listen. I mean, I do understand what he's saying. If he then loses, let's say he loses his career or gets injured, yes, it could be very different, very quickly in that regard as well. I think the situation, like I said, you know, for me personally, you know, I'm not going to say it's a divorce situation. I believe it's salvageable. I do actually believe it's salvageable. I think it's salvageable, but it requires them to both submit themselves to somebody to help them work through these issues. See, just because people are smiling now doesn't mean they won't be crying later on. Just because people smile now does not mean they won't be crying later on. I don't hold, you know, I don't want it to be a straight, divorce. I believe this can be worked out, but it needs to be submittance on both of their parts to somebody who can actually really see the issues between the two of them and say, hey, we need to work out some stuff. Because also Simone is a part of the problem. Simone is a part of the problem, right? Because she's even doing the covering right now. She's now come onto Twitter to say, are you guys done yet? Meanwhile, your boy hasn't said anything yet. Meanwhile, your boy hasn't said anything yet. The boy who actually said something and actually got you guys into hot water hasn't said anything yet. You know, right? They haven't said anything yet. You know, so personally, you know, that's what I would say in that respect. You know, I'll be honest, I'll be real with you. It's a situation. You get what I'm saying to you? So, yeah, no. Me personally, you know, I think that you know they need to have some people just speak into their relationship and just really guide them in the next few years or so that they don't go awry. Because if they continue this course alone, if not by divine intervention, right? If not by divine intervention. Okay, if not by divine intervention, this is gonna go badly. Now, IDGAF never will. If y'all are talking about divorcing over a bad podcast, no, I'm not talking about having a divorce over a podcast. What we're talking about is what the natural conclusion of it all is. As men, what we tend to do is try to look at the natural end and conclusion of a situation where it will end up being. And I can see the trajectory that they're on right now. If there is not a divine intervention, it will go badly, because the way his mindset is, the way he's talking about, the way he's maneuvered in public, on a platform, and the way he's spoken about her, from what we can see, it's not going to be a good trajectory. Okay? All right, so that's why we're saying this. So that's why we're saying it. And the fact that Simone's come onto Twitter, talk about, are you guys done yet? Instead of you to keep quiet, Simone, and look at what we're saying and maybe read between the lines, Simone's there defending, because we know that's what she's going to do. Okay? So me personally, I'm not saying jump to the divorce straight away. This is like if you guys ever watch Married at First Sight, if you watch my channel here for a long time, you know, this is Karen and Miles' situation. I spoke about this with Karen and Miles at the time when we watched them on Married at First Sight. See, the thing that frustrates me is that men pretend to say they don't know what disrespect is until it comes their way. They totally understand that this is not disrespectful to Simone Biles. But when Will Smith is being disrespectful, we know what it looks like. Come on. Like, Mandem, let's be real. Like, Mandem, I want to be real with you. You don't want Will Smith and Jada together, right? Mandem don't want them together. Man, are completely doing videos and doing dissertations on Twitter like I'm doing on my own channel. They're doing the exact same thing. And they don't like, the moment the slap happened, it must have been Jada. It's like, yeah, you know what disrespect looks like. And you know when someone is doing something. And even if they don't say anything, you know how to deduce. This is why I can't give people a pass. Because people know exactly what they're talking about. When it came to Will and Jada, when Will slapped Chris Rock in the face, everybody was able to suddenly deduce that Jada was saying things without even saying anything. And correctly so. You know, and correctly so. So you know how to interpret a situation where someone says or doesn't say something. You don't need it to be done perfectly in your face. You know what it looks like. You know exactly. Right? So, yeah, that's what I would say in that respect. You know, IMO said, all I'm saying, coach, is many guys' friends don't like the girls who DM them. Ask your friends if those girls are attractive to them. There's two questions. Number one, ask the man them whether the girls who approach them in the DMs, whether they're attracted to them. And number two, ask them if they were able to lead the conversation and interaction with that girl after. Or did that girl kept on pressing them? Ask them that question. Trust me. Listen, man, they're never gonna complain if a girl enters a DM. If she's good looking, nobody complains. But if she's not good looking, we're already in trouble. Number two, if she starts trying to take over, men don't like that. Yes, they don't. Right? You're pushing everything. No. But if you just enter and say, hey, how you doing? And you start a conversation and you see me responding with reciprocity, I'm giving you the same conversation you're giving me. You're writing paragraphs, I write paragraphs. You write short, I write short. You're seeing reciprocity? Man, them ain't complaining about that. Man, them are really not complaining about that. They ain't. The person's ugly. You know what I mean? Okay, all right. They're ugly. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm trying to say to you. The girls that are entering those DMs are ugly to these man them. That's why they're rejecting it. Man them are not rejecting girls that look good. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? All right. So yeah, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what you're saying. No, I'm saying that they're not attractive. Not that they're not attracted. They're not attractive. The difference. Not that they're not attracted, they're not attractive. So the girls that are actually doing it, they're not good looking. That's what I mean. Not that they're not attracted, they're not good looking. That's what I meant, sorry. So no, I didn't call that ugly. No, Simone's not ugly. What I'm saying is, if the guy thinks you're attractive, they don't complain when you enter the DMs. They don't complain. JR is like the exception to the rule, but man, them always would say the exception to the rule, and then when it actually happens, they chat breezy. JR telling me now, he just proved it's not true. Okay, JR. So a baddie enters your DMs and you don't like her. Okay, JR. I hear you. This is why sometimes I don't argue. Sometimes I don't like arguing with man them because they be telling you disingenuous stuff, man. I love you guys, but sometimes you be doing disingenuous stuff. When we get alone, man them, the kind of stuff we talk about, this is why I don't like. Sometimes I'm looking at man, I'm like, now you know you capping. Now you know you capping. Now you know you capping. Man, then the girls that you like are not approaching your DMs. I just want to be real with you. You know you're not like being genuine. The girls that are approaching you in your DMs, you don't like them. They're not attracted to you. They're not. It's okay. Let's not like drag it to make it like something extra. Like it's we don't have to do that to try and prove a point. We actually don't have to prove a point. Women that are good looking, when they enter your DMs, you're not rejecting them. When a good looking girl walks up to you and says, hey, I don't like the fact she approached me, so I'm not gonna talk to her. Get the frick out of here. Come on, man, Joe. Stop that nonsense. Stop that nonsense. Stop the nonsense. Good looking girl walks up to you and says, hello, how you doing? Suddenly you don't wanna, you didn't let me approach you. Nah, come off it. Come on, Joe. Come on. Stop that. We don't need to lie to making a point. You don't find that person attractive. It's that simple. The rules are always different for people that are attractive. It's that simple. If you're good looking enough when you approach a man. And when I say approach, I'm not so much taking over the whole conversation. I'm saying you're just saying hello. A girl who's good, let me tell you, do you know the stuff that I've seen from men? Let me tell you something. The stuff I've seen from men, that's why sometimes they be capping. I'm looking at you, you're capping. The stuff that I've seen from men, I've seen. If the girl is good looking enough, let me tell you something. A good looking girl can walk past the man, yeah? Just put a hand on his shoulder and walk off. Man will be like, raw. Da, 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 da. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So it's a case of the fact that you don't find her attractive. If you find her attractive, I'm telling you now, that girl can walk past you, touch you on the shoulder, hey, sorry. A girl can even walk past you and was like, sorry, I just need to get past you. And man, don't want to, come on. Like, yo, listen, man, then we're moved. We are moved by beauty. Let's not lie and try to make it so that the ladies are crazy. They're not crazy. Okay, all right? Yeah. So when a woman enters your DMs, it's really simple. If you allow him the space to start interacting with you, you will watch and see what does he do from there. Right? You will watch and see what he does from there. Right? So it's just that simple. Listen, if Lori Harvey enters my DMs, I'll be like confused. I'll be like, this must be a prank. You know what I mean? Because she's a beautiful girl. If Simone Biles enter my DMs, I'll be like, God damn. Woo-hoo. Chris said, what's unattractive about Simone? No, it's not that Simone is unattractive. She's unattractive in context to the person she's talking to. Okay? See, JR, now you're gonna start saying, JR. What's unattractive about Simone? Is it because she's unambiguously black, dark skinned? No, the truth of the matter is who she's approaching, who she shot her shot with, does not find her attractive. Had he done so, he would have responded differently. Okay? Had he done so, he would respond differently. Somebody who likes you and values you speaks about how much they like and value you because they value you. Okay? So it's the fact that, yes, in a sense, it is a reality of the fact that he thinks he can do better. And so, unfortunately, she thinks she's hitting the top limit. He thinks he's hitting below. You get what I'm saying to you? So it's really dependent about whether that person finds you attractive. It's that simple. You get what I'm saying to you? It's that simple. Someone can say, I can see how you are attractive, but I'm not attracted. And that's what I'm trying to say, Hopeful. If she hadn't reached out, he would have never reached out. Do you know, hold on a minute. They matched, by the way. Let's really deep this. They matched. And he said, I would have never reached out, but you matched. He wouldn't have gone after what he wanted because he never wanted it. No, let me make it very plain and easy. Let me make it simple, okay? Let me make this really simple. If I'm at the gym and I'm working out and I see a girl who's looking good to me, I'm looking at her and she looks good, and she comes up to me and says, hey, and I start talking to her, like, hey, how you doing? Da, 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 da. We start talking, the conversation is flowing. I'm like, at the end of it, like, yo, you know, I think you're an amazing person. I think you're great. The conversation will be really nice. Can I get your number? I'm going to try it. As long as I'm single, by the way, of course, you know. Right? Because that's the equivalent of matching each other, right? You've matched on the app or whatever. Okay? Right? So if you both swiped and said yes, it's the equivalent of we meeting in the middle. We already know that we think each other attractive. But I'm making it physical. A girl comes over to you, says, hey, you find her attractive. She finds you attractive. You have a conversation. I'm about to ask for your number after that. Of course, I'm single. You're single. Well, I hope you are anyway. I'm going to ask for your number, right? So why am I going to do that? Because I find you attractive. But when I don't find you attractive, I may still give you a number because, you know, maybe I don't want to hurt your feelings. Men do this sometimes. Girls do this sometimes as well. In fact, girls probably do it more than men. You know, they don't want to get, you know, hurt, and I understand that, safety and all that kind of stuff. But in reality, you pursue what you want. So if she's made a layup for him by, I'm not going to say layup. You both agree that you swipe each other. Okay? If you both agree to swipe each other, right? We both swiped each other. What was left? Why wouldn't he message her after that if you both said yes? No, deep. Do you know how mad that is? No, really deep what we're saying here. This is why I said that we have to deduce what he's saying. You both said yes on an app, okay, and you wouldn't have approached. Isn't that all you needed? Isn't that all you need? Is that not all you needed? And remember, there's no excuse of, well, he's shy, or maybe he's a bit nervous, or he's a bit anxious. The nigga just told us. Sorry, I said the nigga. the Negro just told us that he's a prize. He's got some confidence. Okay? He's got some confidence. All right? That's it. You get what I'm saying to you? Now, if that's the case, he should have approached her. After you both swiped, it's now made easy. Then you approach. Okay? All right? So that's what I'm trying to say. That's also more evidence, that this is particularly going to be an issue. Heroes. Maybe he did want to be chased down. But men who stay in that position will always get frustrated and resentful, because the reality of the situation is they will always try to create the chase. He's not in his natural element. He's not in his natural energy. Wanting to always be chased, once they get caught, he's going to create another chase in the relationship. It's never going to be enough, because you are not in your right energy. As a man, you're not supposed to be in a position of being chased. You're not supposed to. How can you be the protector of your family and be chased at the same time? My friend, no. Yeah? So, yes. That's what I'm saying about that. Now, let me address JR's point, because he wanted me to call him JR. He said, ladies slide in your DMs a lot, and you definitely know some of them are attractive to stop the cap. You are moving like Captain Cap, brother. Okay, the ones that are attractive to me, have they not got my number? Let me not say anything else more than that. That's all I need to say. Do I not talk to them? They're not proving any point apart from the point that I'm already making. Those who I find attractive, I'm engaging with. Now, it might not turn into a relationship. That's to do with me personally, but there you go. And the ones that are not attractive, you don't want them. It's that simple. All right. Nah, JR, you bugging. Man said she out-earns him, is more famous than him, chased him, so I can see why it's triggering, but this is going to be the new norm. I don't think it's triggering because she chased, though. I don't think that, honestly, I don't think that's the case, JR. The point that people are making is the fact that the brother has not, the biggest, you know what it is? Let's say she talks about chasing, but he said beautiful things about her, how nice she is, how great he is, right? He would have covered her in that moment. See, a brother who would have cared about her and loved her and really thought about her first would have covered her. This is what I'm trying to say, that some of us as men, you don't like the girl because your natural instinct isn't to protect. And so in that instance, what would have been a covering would have been like, look, I would have never even told a story that she chased me first. How can she chase you if you wanted her? No, deep what you're saying to me right now, How can she chase me if I wanted her as well? No, think about what we are really saying here. How can she chase me if I wanted her as well? It's not a chase at that point. At that point, it's reciprocity. I want you, you want me. My story would not be that she chased me. The reason why he chased me is because I didn't want him. This is why I don't chase women either. I don't chase women. You get what I'm saying to you? I don't chase women. I like reciprocity. You know what I'm saying to you? You show me that you like me, I show you that I like you. And if you're on it, let's go forward. If not, let's leave it where it is. I don't chase women. When I'm chasing women, it means that you don't want me either. I don't play chasing. And as a woman, you definitely don't want to be chased by a man, right? You definitely don't want to be chasing a man, right? So the fact that we're using the word chase and all this stuff, it tells me we're having unbalanced situations in relationships. We do not want that from both men or women. You do not want to be in a place of chasing. That is a negative, okay? That's a negative. I've told you guys that, listen, I don't want to marry anybody I don't like. I don't want to marry anybody I do not like. Not even love. Love is one aspect. I want to like the person. Right? I told you about a situation where I met a girl and I was like, rah, I deeped it. No, some women I don't like them. I can love them, but I don't like them. And there are women that I really like. What that means is I like every essence of her. I like the way she talks, the way she moves. I like the way she puts her clothes together. I like the way she thinks, the way she reasons. Even when I'm annoyed at her, I still like her. That is so quintessential. And I think a lot of men and women don't like people. They love them, but they don't like them. Meaning they like this, they love the stability and the familiarity and the fact that they're going to get what they want, which is a family and maybe some kids out of it. But you don't like the person. You're settling. Because that's not how you talk about someone that you really like. So if you've never ever been to a place, man or woman, where you can say really nice stuff about the actual person, then maybe you need to consider whether you really like the person you're actually with. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah? Yeah, it's not that there isn't baddies out there. It's not that there isn't even finer girls than you. This is why I had a problem with Solomon Bucci. It's exactly why I had the same problem with Solomon Bucci. I hate it, right? It's not to say there isn't other women out there that are not better looking than your girl. But when you are with me, you're the baddest bee I ever see. I don't know anyone else. And that's why I said that some of you are settling, because when you finally like the girl that you actually like, she becomes the baddest girl in the room. That doesn't mean that you don't see other women. It means I don't see other women. It doesn't mean I don't see other women, but I don't see other women. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? When you find this girl attractive, you don't see anything else. Yeah? You don't see anything else. Yeah? You don't see anything else. So I don't know what situations people are in at the moment. Sorry, I put the wrong one. I don't know what kind of situation people are in, but I'm telling you, man them, if you're listening to this conversation, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's not lie. When you meet that girl that you find attractive, both physically and intimately, as in introspectively, what that girl, you don't see other women. You don't see them. Stop. You don't see them. All you see is your girl. It doesn't mean you can't see other women. It means you just don't see other women because your girl is now the biggest thing in your eye. And they've only been married since 2020. So that newness shouldn't even have worn off yet. The novelty of being in love shouldn't even have worn off yet. It should still be buzzing. It should still be tingling in your spirit that you like this girl. It's only been 2 years. You understand? We're still in the honeymoon phase. What you talking about? What you talking about? You know how you talk about the girl that you actually like. Yeah, some of you don't like your girl. Some of you don't like your girl, and some of you women don't like your man or your boy, whichever you want to call it. It's just that simple. And we're trying to make men complicated, and man them are trying to make men complicated, and we know that men are not that complicated. When I say they're not that complicated, we do have our own complicated things, but actually in reality, it's kind of simple. Probably a good point, Lin. This is actually probably a good point. They're convinced men are defending Mr. Biles because she's not attractive either. That's a probably good point. I mean, maybe that's why I don't see it that way, because I think she's attractive. I really do. I think Simone Biles is attractive. Like, she's a good-looking lass. But I also objectively can see that if you put them two together, I think they're kind of close. But I would say that he's light-skinned, he's tall, he's a man. He's got the good hair with the eyes. It's a wrap. Man, them like him, the type of girls that they're gonna get, different. Okay, different, you know. So yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. You know what I mean? Like, personally, I think there's a clip by Amani. I wanted to watch. I haven't watched it. Let me see.
I don't know why y'all mad at him. He just telling the truth. They did that interview and he basically told us a story about how Simone Biles chased him. So yeah, he is the prize. We want men to be so masculine and this and that, and we, talk bad about men being sassy and feminine. Well, yeah, when they were the ones getting asked out on dates, why would, if I was a man getting asked out on a date, I would ask for flowers too. I'd want her to open my car door too, because I'm her girlfriend now. Y'all make these men y'all girlfriends, and then y'all surprised when they be acting feminine and sassy like they the prize. They are the prize. You asked him out, sis. You chased him. I mean, what did you expect? You expected for him to act all masculine after you already took that away from him? Like, This is why I never tell women to chase no man. Like, you should never be proposing to no man. You should never be approaching no man. People ask me this all the time. Like, you never approached a guy? No, I never have a day in my life. A day in my life, I would never approach no man and ask him out on a date. Why would I do that and give him the automatic upper hand? No, of course he's surprised. I just gave him the power and the whole dynamic. Like, why would he chase me after I just chased him? Like, what? Like, come on now. I see a lot of y'all mad at Simone.
So y'all saying they got married this year. Do you not see how mad that is? You get married this year and you don't even sound like, you get what I'm saying? You're married this year and I'm not hearing no words that inspiring me to be like this. Brother's telling us they're in love so deep. I didn't even see the love. Huh? Didn't see the love. I don't see the love. I don't see that love that you talk about. Eh? I don't hear the fine words that you did there, the ginger, the girl. I don't hear that one. I don't hear the words that are sweet. You're my sweet apple bun and spice and bone. I don't hear that words from you. Why? Why don't I hear some of those lyrics? Because it's not there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not there. Okay? All right? It's not there. So, now Simone, like I said on the last video, Simone is her own person at this point, and we have to leave her to it, okay? Like, we have to leave her to it, and we just support her when it comes. Let me tell you why. Look at this thing here. And this is what's got this is what get the mandem excited. They don't care. Listen, let me tell you something. A lot of mandem don't care about Simone Biles like that. What they care about is the fact that, as when it comes to these situations, a lot of times, okay, we project ourselves into these situations, right? This is why the Will Smith thing became so offensive, right? The Will Smith and Jada situation. Because we actually do project. Everybody does it. Men and women, we all project. Hence why I was saying nobody should talk about someone projecting, because we all project. It's that simple, right? Now, this tweet here by Simone Biles, I said, Simone, like, there was a tweet here saying, it's crazy how she's smiling and laughing and also happily married, and it's nothing but bitter bitches in the comments. I said, oh, Simone. Simone, I got you. No way. Simone, I got you.
Wake up out of your sleep. The Lord told me to tell you, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
We need her to wake up. We need her to wake up. Look, her getting the ring, it doesn't mean wheat. Mandem need to stop lying. Because the mandem that are saying that she got the ring are the same mandem that are talking about they're scared about women getting married to men and divorcing at 50%. The same men that was screaming about she got the ring are the same men that cry on my internet talking about, well, women divorce men so easily, they get 50% and we have to pay child support. They're the same men. So I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear that argument. It's frustrating, it's annoying. The same one that will scream saying, well, she's happy and she's got the ring, are the same one that will be out here telling us that, the man, these girls are not loyal, they divorce after a short while, and did it. So we don't get excited about rings. You understand what I'm saying to you? When we can see that the relationship to the ring isn't looking good. But I'm leaving it there, guys. I got to go. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for those who are 465 people in the room. We will talk another time later. Don't worry. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads. We appreciate you. We